What's up, everybody, and welcome to FirePitChilling. I am not your normal host. I'm not Gucci. I'm Ernie,
What?
and I'm joined by two of the coolest people I know,
Oh.
Julian
Hey, how's it going?
and Jeff.
Hey, thanks.
What'd you do with Gucci?
I don't know.
Probably asleep, let's be honest.
He's in the lake.
He's in the lake? Okay.
He's in the lake.
All right.
Today we're going to be talking about fear.
Ooh.
Ooh.
Kendrick Lamar's Fear.
Oh, okay.
Excellent song.
It is.
So,
All right, that was it. Good episode, guys.
Great song. Check it out.
what are we afraid of? Deepest fears, small fears. Just see where it goes.
Yeah. That's what we always do, right? We just kind of wing it anyway.
We do just kind of wing it, and then we ramble.
We ramble. All right, so, okay, I guess I'm talking, so I guess
You're
I have to
going
go.
first.
Damn. All right. Shoot. I guess I'll go from big to small. So I think my biggest fear, I don't think, I know it is. My biggest fear is honestly, I don't know if this sounds like insensitive or not, but it's like mental illness, but like I'm not afraid of people with mental illnesses. Like I'm afraid of like developing one or something like that. Like mainly like Alzheimer's or dementia or something like that later down the line, cuz I like I think it goes hand in hand, but like I have this other fear of being alone, or just kind of like not having anyone. So having my memories and just knowing where I'm at and who I'm with, like if that was to go away, then like I'd be alone anyway. But I think it'd be like another layer because I would have all these people with me still, but then just not know who they are, and that scares the crap out of me. So like that's a huge fear of mine, and it's crazy because like my grandfather, he had Alzheimer's, and like it was just kind of a trip because he knew who I was, but he forgot my dad. So like that scared, like just that kind of like realization, like
That's
he
crazy.
knew my name and everything. Like we visited him at the home, and he kind of knew my dad, but I was like, damn, dude, that's your son, and like you know what I mean, like that
Totally.
like that's heavy. And so like damn, I just that like I don't know, that's just like heartbreaking for me. So like that's a huge fear of mine. So that is my biggest fear. So I don't know, maybe we'll just start there. We'll just talk about everyone's biggest fear because I just did. So if you want
That
to go.
I mean that when you say it like that, yeah, that is terrifying. I wouldn't say it's my. I guess because I never really thought about it, but yeah, to lose your memory and to be around people you used to know,
Yeah.
that is terrifying. For me, I guess it's difficult because I like to just go day by day. But one of my biggest fears is just like never panning out, and I say that in the sense to where like I feel as if I have a lot of time left to figure things out, you know, to either I don't know, go back to school and get another degree or just get a new job and do what I like. What I
Yeah.
love is science, and what I specifically love is like conservation and biology, and to continue doing that, to continue these efforts to not only to learn, not only personally learn about it, but to teach about it. You know, whether that's at
Yeah.
a museum or sanctuary or something. But I guess one of my biggest fears is just never being able to do that consistently, and never being able to do what I truly want to do, or never really panning out to how I envision. You know, being a good person and learning a lot and things like that. Maybe just not. Maybe just falling short of goals. So like setting goals for myself and falling short, that like terrifies me. I think that's why I get so amped up at doing that.
Yeah.
Or another one that's a little more heavy is just like isolating myself to the point where like I don't have anyone. I'm pretty cryptic with a lot of my thoughts. I like to keep them hidden. And I'm pretty good at not talking to people about things that are important or I should talk about, I guess. And
Yeah.
sometimes I get nervous to where I'm like, what if I just encase myself in a bubble to where people don't want to talk to me because I always doesn't talk to anybody. Sometimes they get me freaked out. Or just like staying put. It's like staying here. These are all, they kind of all fall into the same category. But
Yeah.
like staying put, staying in the same spot my whole life, never branching out, never meeting someone new or something like that. Like isolation.
Yeah.
It is kind of scary for me.
Interesting. I mean, if it sounds like it kind of boils down to like not realizing your full potential. I feel like that's a big theme of yours.
I I'm glad you said it like that. I forgot. And again, I say this. I want to say it in a humble way, but I feel as if I have a lot of potential, and I feel like I can do a lot.
Sure.
And sometimes it scares you to the point of like, well, what if I don't use it or I don't even try?
Yeah.
That does kind of freak me out.
All right.
Real quick, I have a question for Julian.
Oh, okay. Hello.
Heavy.
So, yeah, when you said your grandpa went through it, right?
Yeah.
Was he still very cognitive? So, like, were you able to have conversations or were you, like, about how it affected him not remembering?
You know, it was one of those things because I was younger, so like it didn't hit me until I was. It didn't hit me until a little later on. Like, damn, that thing's terrifying. Because at the time it was just like, okay, that's sad. Like, oh damn, like my grandpa's going through that. But like, it wasn't until it wasn't until like I don't know, as cheesy as this will sound, it's like I have my fiance like it's like the love of my life. Like I can't imagine like losing her, but in the worst way, in the sense that she like leaves my head. Like that's what gets me. And so then that's what kind of made me think back to my grandpa, and I'm like that. So like I didn't really ever ask him because at the time it wasn't something I was scared of. It was just something I felt bad about. But like as it went on, and then now also I'm learning that because well my grandpa had it, and it's not like purely genetic. I guess I don't know exactly how it is, but like I read a little bit into it, and it's not that uncommon for it to be in a family. So like a generational thing, So like that kind of freaked me out when I read about that. So that's when it started to scare me. But at the time when my grandpa was going through it, I just thought it was sad, so I didn't really look into it or ask him. But I don't know. He was like it was weird because again he remembered something, so he knew me, and like he remembered how he would go on walks every morning, but like it was just bits and pieces and some like really important pieces that kind of left his head. So, no, I don't know.
It's weird. It's scary.
Right?
That is pretty scary. I have to admit.
So.
You also earned points with Lindsay, by the way.
Oh.
Look at this plug over here. I'm just settle down.
All right. I mean,
Okay. All right.
For me, there's one thing actually that I've never spoken about, and I actually talked to my friend about it for the first time because she asked me why I don't like saying goodbye, why it's either good night or I'll talk to you later or I'll see you tomorrow or something like that. And it's because like I am terrified of depression, and I've had a close family friend, almost an uncle in my family, kill himself because of depression. So that's always been in the back of my head. It happened when I was younger, but just the story of how it happened. We were hanging out earlier that day. He went home. Again, you see him, you think he's completely normal, nothing's wrong. And they said that they found him with music playing, like old 80s songs, a bottle of wine, and a shotgun. So, obviously, it was
That's
a closed
intense.
casket.
Yeah.
I never saw him after that. The funeral was really weird. I don't really remember it. But that story has just always stuck in my head. And it's weird because I don't like saying bye. I feel like it's so final, and so absolute. That's why I say, hey, all right, I'll see you later, or good night, I'll talk to you tomorrow, something like that.
Yeah.
And it's weird because I never noticed that until my friend asked me, like, hey, why does saying bye bother you? And another thing would be, like Julian kind of said, Jeff's kind of said, is isolation. I live in a house with my mom, my dad, and my brother. And more often than not, they're not home. so I'm always home alone.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas I know for Jeff, it's the complete opposite. There's always someone.
100%. Hate it.
So, I mean, I have my dog, and she's cool. Like, she'll lay with me if no one's there, or she'll just go sleep somewhere. But she'll come in every now and then, like, begging for attention. And that's cool. We'll go outside, we'll play fetch. But I had a house sitting job a while ago, and it was up in the mountains. Great view, Studio City. Like, I could see Universal Studios, see the valley, and then just over the hill, I was in Hollywood. So it was a nice area, but it was so secluded. The neighbors were pretty spread apart. Like, you couldn't just look over and see someone there.
Yeah.
And it felt so lonely, so secluded at night, just knowing you're by yourself and there's really no one around you, no one you can talk to, no shops, no, like, it was scary. It was terrifying. And it got in my head, and I hated that feeling. I hated pretty much living by myself. I did not like it at all. I do not want to grow up and be alone.
Yeah.
So, I don't know. I would say that's my two biggest fears.
That's interesting because it's like you said, you're already alone pretty often, and I never really thought about it like that, like being completely isolated. That is kind of terrifying. Because for me personally, like whenever I do, which happens, I feel like once a month, whenever I do have the house to myself and it's quiet, I like cherish that, and I desperately want like to move out. If it's not with like a good friend or something, like I'd rather be by myself because I love the privacy. I love when it's quiet and I have my thoughts to myself. But granted, it's only in short bursts, so there's no saying that if I do it for a month even, I would start to get annoyed.
Yeah.
So I understand what you're saying. That's definitely, it's weird when you look at it the other way. Because for me personally, I'm like, oh, I just want to be by myself. I feel like I desperately want that.
Yeah, I think with that, I mean, it being home and stuff, I think I have the best of both worlds because I have those times where I'm by myself for long stretches because my family will go on trips. But also, I'm just used to being alone at the house because, like, we'll just do shit, like my family or my parents, and I'll just be at the house for, like, the whole day, and then they'll come home at, like, late at night or something. But, yeah, those long stretches, man, like, I definitely feel that way, especially being at, like, this house, it's not the biggest, like, where I live, but it is for one person. And I mean, I remember that house seeing place, like when you showed me the place, it's huge and it was far from everything. So I mean, I think even just for a day, that would get me. Do you think you'd feel differently about that particular job if it was like maybe smaller, closer
Busy
to people,
streets,
busier
yeah.
streets? Like, do you think you'd feel a little bit more differently about
Supermarket
that?
next door, yada, yada.
It's weird because I don't think so.
Hmm.
So you go down the street on Ventura Boulevard,
Yeah, I remember.
and then there's residential areas like on the other side of it.
Yeah.
So my boss's mom lived in a condo around there.
Okay.
And
Oh yeah.
again, it's a condo, so the houses share walls.
Mm.
And I used to work there too. But again, that place was 3 stories,
Yeah.
and I never went down to the basement. There was just stairs that led to black.
Oh yeah. No.
And I mean, I'm not scared of the dark.
So I'm not going down there though.
I'm not scared of the dark, but it's not my house. I mean, they had 2 bedrooms, but still, it's eerie being by yourself.
Absolutely.
I mean, you set an alarm, but by the time someone really responds to the alarm, or maybe it might not even wake me up, it's weird. It's very eerie, and I
Yeah,
didn't
totally.
like it. Like, I'd rather have a roommate where we don't even have to get along, like best friends or even friends. We could just be roommates.
Yeah.
But knowing that there's someone else there,
Helps.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
true. Yeah. It's funny because I feel like I'm just so meticulous with certain things that I feel like if I get annoyed by a roommate, I don't want to deal with it. That's why I'd rather be by myself sometimes. Like I want the house set how I want it, nice and neat. But I get what you're saying. It can be unnerving in that sense. But I don't know. For me personally, sometimes with a lot of these things, and this is just a trend with how I think, but I think a lot of it's just in our head. So much of it, I think we let it get to the roots. Excuse me. We let it like kind of it's like start to build up inside our heads, and it's all mental. Like I think a good majority of things, like fear itself, I think is just something mental that we come up with to kind of ease us. As contradictory as that sounds, like how would fear ease you? Because it's like, oh, I'm really nervous about this, but that's okay because it's normal to be nervous about this. We're just something that we lay upon ourselves.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
That's true. I'm afraid of getting, like, I know I'm just going to kind of jump around, but it's just because you said it's, like, mental, but then there's a part of me that's like, well, I'm afraid of getting stabbed. Because I feel like,
Yeah.
like cut or stabbed. Like, it's weird because, like, I know, like, I'm not trying to, like, talk, like, I'm like, hot shit or anything, but, like, it's, like, and I've had this conversation before, but it's, like, I feel like getting shot is more preferable than being stabbed or like cut with something.
Oh,
you know what I mean?
Heebie-jeebies.
So
man.
like that's what like that's another fear of mine, like getting stabbed or like and I'm not talking about cut like I pricked myself or like a paper, like I'm talking about like a proper like with like a knife or some shit like that.
Ugh, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And that was like only confirmed like because at work, like I had to respond to a call where like this dude got stabbed, and like I saw what it can do. Like because in the academy, they show us like examples of like what a knife can do, like the lacerations and the stabs. But you see pictures, they're graphic. It's like whoa, okay, cool. But like having to deal with someone who's just been stabbed, I was like, holy crap, this is terrifying, and it looks so painful.
Oh yeah. I bet.
So like that only just made that worse for me. But yeah, that's oh god, I can't even. Let's just hope that never happens.
Yeah. No, I hope not. Jesus,
Right.
it's terrifying.
I guess that's just I don't know. I guess
That one's not mental. Sure, I get it. Sociology.
But I guess that kind of rolls into like just the hazards of my job that I'm also worried about. I mean, like just safety in general for me. I mean, I think I'm just in a like somewhat unique position, with law enforcement, that I'm just in a job where, you can kind of expect to get hurt. I just hope I don't get hurt too bad. That's all. I guess that's a concern, fear. I guess you can call it a fear.
Yeah, that's true. Again, it kind of stems to where you go with things like that. Like, like when I was, again, this is just complete contrast. When I was in a rainforest, I was terrified of not seeing a snake.
Of not seeing a snake?
Of not seeing like a venomous snake, stepping on it, getting bit, and then just dying.
Wait,
that was in the back of my head.
Wait, you were...
no, I get it.
So like you're walking and you don't see a snake and you step on it.
Because I just know you, and you're always like, oh, I want to see a snake.
Yeah, that's why I was terrified of not seeing one. What if I missed one of the snakes and I got bit?
I interpret it as like, man, I really want to see one. I'm gonna be so scared if I don't.
Yeah, I should have specified.
Understood. That makes sense.
I'm talking fear.
Talking fear, dude. Yeah, seriously. It's funny because everything you guys are saying, it's like I don't really think about it that much, but it makes sense. Another thing that I feel like I never talk about is just like that isolation thing. Like you said, it's true. Like just being alone, that is kind of scary. Again, I love my privacy and I love when I'm by myself, and I think it's because it's just never happens. But when I am, oh my gosh, it's so relieving. But a prolonged existence by yourself, that is weird. That's like
that feeling of loneliness,
chilly.
man.
Yeah.
You can't, like, there's nothing you can do about that.
Yeah. Another thing that always like kind of stuck with me was like you personally, like for me, it'd be me being like the problem, like you're the issue or something like that. Like things never working, and and it's always comes back to like, well, maybe it's something with me.
Yeah, I understand that.
So I had that thought with relationships for a long time. 'Cause it never worked. They're never long. They never worked. And I was like, at this point, and I was like, maybe it's just me. Like maybe I'm the problem. And that used to really kind of unnerve me.
I still have
It's a
that
two-way
thought.
street,
Yeah.
man.
Yeah.
It takes two. So
And then I kind of realized. Then I was like, well, maybe it's just mental or something like that. But yeah, it's weird.
you guys afraid of heights?
Yeah, let's go with something a little less.
Dude, I'm scared of heights. But like I don't. It's weird because I think I am, but then I'm not. Like I'll do roller coasters fine. Like I don't mind like going up ladders, but then I don't know. I get weirded out with heights over the stupidest things. It's like looking over something that gets me. Like that's when I'll get that vertigo feeling.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Like it's just weird because it's one of those selective things where I can do certain. Like I don't care about flying, and like I'm very high up, but like going. Oh man, I have to go on the 6th step of that ladder. Like oh shit, like that's when I get shaky.
That's
like
so
what? I don't know. It's weird. That like I had to really face that fear recently because I had to go up to like a building, like on the. Did I tell you about? I think I told you about this because you were on PlayStation, or were you on PlayStation? I think I was telling Joey.
Okay.
But
Let's hear it.
there's like, we got a radio call. There's like, oh, there's these guys on the roof, like possible like burglary suspects. So you know, with a call like that, you're like, oh shoot, like let's roll out there, quick. And so we get there. There's a couple other units, and we see like heads poking out from like behind, like so. This is a pretty tall building, maybe like 50 to 60 feet up. So like, it's not. It's not like the highest building in the world, but I mean that's pretty high up there, and we couldn't figure out how these guys got up there because all the ladders are walled off and stuff like that because it was probably like 1 a.m, and there was no way we were getting up there, so we had to call the fire department. You ever see those big ladders,
Yeah.
like the one that they like control with like a.
And they rescue the kid
Yeah,
from
yeah,
the
yeah.
tree.
I had to, so they get that and they set it up, and so they're like, all right, we need someone to go up there to scout it out, and I'm the new guy, like, hey, go on up. So I was A, by myself, B, and like with a ladder I feel better because you're just kind of going straight up, right?
Yeah, this thing's
It's like at an angle, and you have to kind of bear crawl your way up there, so you're just looking down the entire time. So I'm just seeing the ground go up higher
sounds
and
like
higher and
a
higher.
nightmare for you.
I didn't notice it until I got to the very top. My hands were shaking, like I was rattling and like, so it starts off really solid at the beginning because
Yeah,
that's
it's the
where
base.
it's the base, and then because it keeps extending, so it gets skinnier and skinnier. So then by the top, it's wiggling, dude. I was freaking out. I was like, I looked, I was like, all right, no one's here. So then I just go back down. And I was like, okay, we can go up. But then when I got down, my heart was, I was like, why is my heart hurting? But I was like, it was just beating so fast.
Jeez.
And then we all went up there and it was fine. But
That's funny.
so like I had to face that recently, but it's selective with the height thing. I don't know. You guys freaked out about
mental.
heights?
It's mental.
Yeah,
No.
actually.
Yeah?
So, it's kind of weird because my dream is to be a pilot,
Yeah.
but I don't know. It's also selective like yours, but I don't really know what it is because I can look over the edge as long as there's railing. I can put my hand on it and then I can lean all the way forward, or I can even hold my phone out and I won't. Like, I'm not scared I'm going to drop it. I'm not scared I'm going to fall or the railing's going to break or anything. But if there's no railing, I'm not going to go near the edge. Like, even if the railing looks a little janky, like, it's fine. And I don't like roller coasters. Our grad night in high school was at Six Flags.
Hey, shout outs. Terrible.
I didn't go.
And Tatsu was the first roller coaster I ever went on
It was
in
dope.
Six
Huh?
Flags, and I loved it.
Yeah.
And it was weird because your feet don't touch the ground.
Oh, that's right.
They're just
Yeah.
you're
it's
like
sick.
parallel to the track. So you're like flying, and it really felt like you were flying. But after that, like, I'm not gonna go on Goliath. I don't care about pride or people judging me or anything. I'm not gonna do that.
That's funny because I feel like With heights, I guess maybe if I go really high up, I start to get a little. Actually, not even then. No, like I feel like more often than not, I'm not really afraid of heights. Like I'm pretty confident. Again, maybe if I'm up really high up and there's like no railing, I might get a little nervous, but I'm pretty good. And roller coasters, every time I go on a roller coaster, I love it. I always have fun, but I just don't enjoy seeking them out for sure. Like,
Yeah.
like if we go and it's like, oh, I don't really want to go, but sometimes I won't say no, and I'll go and I'm like, oh, okay, that was actually kind of fun.
Yeah.
But the anticipation before, and like I just start getting nervous, and I'm like, why am I doing this? Like, it's just I don't know that weird drop you get when like you fall. It makes me nervous, and again, I hate feeling nervous and antsy, so
Yeah.
that definitely. But I wouldn't even say. I guess I kind of am nervous about it, but I'm not against it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So would you ever skydive?
Yeah.
I want to. I know I'd hate it, but like I want to.
See, that's something I think I would never agree to it unless, again, I was a pilot and it's probably something you have to go through.
Yeah.
But I feel like I would never agree to it. But if somehow I was convinced or I was drugged or whatever and I was up there,
Hey.
Just thrown off.
I feel like I would enjoy it a lot.
I think I'd love
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it'd be
Flying
great, but
is like one of.
I don't think I would ever agree to do it.
Okay.
I think it'd be more maybe it's more the anticipation. That's what would get me for skydiving. But yeah, when I'm falling, I mean, I can't really do anything about it, but I think I'd enjoy it then.
Yeah, I think I would just like it. I think the sensation would just be exhilarating.
I mean,
But again, it would be that constant like drop in your stomach, so I'd probably be really nervous beforehand.
I feel like not being able to breathe would probably affect me the most because you're just falling
Yeah.
and the air is hitting your face.
oh, I honestly didn't even think about that.
Me neither.
I feel like you'd probably get used to the feeling
Yeah.
of falling down, but I feel like the
Breathe.
feeling of
Breathing would be
Yeah.
harder, huh?
yeah.
All right, I know that.
I don't think anyone's ever died by not breathing though. So I think
What?
skydiving.
I think
I don't think any skydive related deaths. Yeah, I'm pretty sure someone's
I
died.
think
from
tons
not
of people
breathing.
does it.
That's funny. But I'm pretty sure like when you go skydiving, I don't think that's an issue. So I think whatever that is, I think it would lapse pretty easily. I think. I don't know. Any other small fear? I'm being dead serious. Can't think of anything.
I'm talking fear.
Can't think of anything.
You know, it was weird because like you guys, because you guys aren't scared of the dark, right?
No.
Not really.
Yeah, me either. But like, you used to.
Yeah.
Used to.
I think so.
I was like gravely like afraid of the dark when I was younger, and it was just always because like, okay, so I saw a movie when I was younger. I saw Jeepers Creepers when I was a kid, and that scared the shit
It's a cool
out of
movie.
me.
I like it.
Looking back at it, yeah, it was like
It's pretty cheesy, but
It was but it scared the crap out of me, and so I thought any dark corner was like he was there or something was there. I was just like a pretty like scaredy cat kid, but when it came to the dark, like it would literally immobilize me.
it's
Like
funny.
there was to the point where like because we used to have in our garage like another refrigerator, and during parties, my parents would be like, "Oh, go grab some more of this in the fridge."
You gotta
and-
run.
I would run, and like I would be so scared, and then like I'd get into the garage and it was pitch black, and the only light I know would come was when I opened that refrigerator door, and I was convinced every noise I heard, there's someone there. So like for the longest time, I slept with like the light on, like with being a night light or my lamp or whatever. And then I think I just got older and I realized I just got so much better sleep with no light. And then I don't know.
I used to sleep with my door open.
Same.
So I was never really, excuse me, I was never really, like, I guess I'd get unnerved by the dark like every kid. And, but I'd always have my door open so there was still some light. And I don't know, this switch happened. I closed the door once and I was like, oh my gosh, that was the best sleep ever. It's so much darker and quieter.
Uh-huh.
And yeah, now I can't sleep with that door open. I have to close it.
Yeah.
It's so funny.
Same.
And even now too, like I'm not the darks, whatever. If I'm on like if I'm on Reddit or something, and I always love reading weird, creepy stuff though. But sometimes I'll read. I don't really get scared of any ghosts or not. Like, I don't really buy that. But if it's like like a theft or burglar or something, then I get a little uneasy, and I'll like if I have to use the restroom at like midnight, I'll like turn on the light and walk over there just in case. I'm like, I need the light on for this.
Yeah.
So even now, I still get a little unnerved when you can't see. But again, it's just because it's the unknown.
Yeah.
We fear what we don't know. So that's why it's innately scary to be in the dark.
And it's weird because I think of it as a blank canvas, and you can just fill it with whatever like terrible thing you can think of, and that's what gets me.
Yeah.
I can't remember a time where I've been scared of the dark. I mean, I
okay.
probably have been,
Uh-huh.
but I mean, Jeff's been in my house at night and just it's pitch black. Everything's
Your
turned
house
off.
is dark.
Yeah,
it's cool.
just I like it. I like the dark actually. I prefer the night to the day.
So you're Batman.
I am Batman. Don't tell anyone.
Okay.
Hey, FirePitChilling.
But I don't know. It's never bothered me. I could sleep with my closet open. Like
Oh, fuck that.
like I can have a chair and clothes on top of it or stuff.
Who's that?
Or just like anything. Like you take my backpack, I have a Chewbacca backpack, and you just put it on the chair, like it creates a silhouette or something. Like that doesn't bother me. The closet door doesn't bother me. I just close the door. Closing the windows or opening the windows again doesn't bother me. I prefer them closed because I don't like in the morning when the sun hits me in the face. I hate that. So I just put on a fan and that's it. It's pitch black.
That's funny. That closet thing is funny because I remember I don't care, but before I wouldn't like when it was open because it's like, oh, what if something's like in there? It's just weird, right?
Yeah.
And then I remember because my closet is the sliding mirrors. I used to hate sleeping facing the mirror because I was like, what if my reflection does something? That would really unnerve me when I was little. Like I would
That's interesting.
I would stare at my reflection. He's staring right back at me, and I'm like, I would get so unnerved because I'm like, he's gonna do something that I'm not gonna do. He's gonna wink at me or he's gonna move his arm, and I'd freak out. And even now, when I look in the mirror at night, I'm like, oh, I don't want to look at you. Like it's weird.
It's interesting.
Yeah.
My thing with this is just me, like with the whole closing the closet door thing. I'm just kind of a neat freak, so like I also have the sliding mirrors, so it's like if it's open, it just gets my OCD. It's not so much like afraid, it's just like I need to close it. It's like why I need to like, I don't know. My fiance says I'm a little neurotic when it comes to certain things, but like, it's like I need to. Like my chair needs to face a certain way before I go to bed.
Oh, okay,
I need
that's
to do
fine.
like it's weird because I have to do like my checks. Like, okay, so all my drawers are closed.
That's so fun. I've
everything.
seen this.
So it's like I
Like
don't
when
know.
we're leaving your house or something, I do see you shuffle, and
I need to shuffle a couple things because things need to be put in a certain order.
that's
But
funny.
So I don't know if that comes from fear. Maybe it's fear of like things being messy, but I don't know.
Do you make your bed every day?
The second I wake up,
Wow.
second I wake up and get out of my bed, I make it because like if I don't, well, A, it bothers me, and B, like I don't know, it makes me feel good about myself because then I come back from going to the bathroom or whatever, I'm like, okay, cool, my bed's made.
That's funny. Yeah, I'm like so different because I wake up and I'll use the restroom, then I'll eat breakfast, and then I'll make my bed. I'm the same though, honestly.
But you still make it
I
though.
was just kidding. I cannot leave the house if my bed's not made, and it's usually within like 20-30 minutes of waking up.
Yeah.
I make it. Like after I shower, 100% that bed has to be made.
Uh-huh.
Because I like waking up, and I hate rushing. So when I wake up, I like to wake up earlier so I have time to eat, shower, and I have time to sit on my bed and relax. I need that time. And I used to hate when I was little coming home to an unmade bed.
Yeah.
Because it just makes the room look dirty. So I have to make the bed.
It's true. Yeah.
Like I have to.
That's funny because I only make the bed when someone's coming over and they're going to go inside my room. Other than that, my beds, I wake up, the sheets are where they are. I figure I'm going to mess them up at night anyways.
I was going to say, yeah, we all do it.
No one's going to see my room besides me.
Yeah.
Like, I don't care.
I just can't focus in my room if my bed's not made.
It's
Same.
crazy. But also, I play video games. I watch TV. I'm on my bed. I'm sitting on my
Well,
bed.
that's true. See, like I don't really use my bed like that. It's just literally where I sleep. So the rest of the day, it just sits there. So if it doesn't look good, then that gets me. But if you use it constantly, then
That's funny,
that
'cause
can be a pain in the ass.
I lay on my bed a lot. When I watch TV and stuff, and I can't lay on it other than when you just wake up. If I just wake up and I use the restroom and I come back and my bed's not made and I'm gonna go back in bed, that's fine because I'll just go under my blankets.
Mm-hmm.
But after I wake up and eat breakfast, I have to make my bed, and I can't watch TV in my room unless it's made. I
Yeah.
hate sitting on my bed when it's all messy.
No, I
hate.
I respect that.
Yeah, that's weird.
Do you guys leave clothes laying around?
Not really, except for like shorts. Like I wear like my work shorts or like my everyday shorts. So I usually I don't leave clothes out a lot except for like shorts and maybe a t-shirt, but I always fold it. I cannot
Just leave like
I
a pile
cannot
of
leave
clothes.
no, I
Yeah.
can't leave an article of clothing. Like my
Uh-huh.
work shirt. I came home, I took out my work shirt, and then I folded it and then I put it away.
Yeah.
I cannot leave it sitting there. It bugs the crap out of me.
Well, where would you leave these clothes?
Just back in the drawer.
So you wear it, and then you just fold it and put it back in the drawer?
Yeah. And with the exception of my work clothes, because those get pretty nasty. They do get dirty.
Yeah.
But every other shirt, like I'm wearing this shirt, I'm just going to fold it and put it back in my drawer again. Because it's not dirty. I'm not running a marathon. I'm not sweaty. It's clean.
I only wear a shirt once,
Yeah.
and then throw it in the hamper.
Yeah. I think because
Me,
then
me too. Yeah.
I wear it more because if you think about it, it doesn't get that dirty.
Yeah.
Unless I spill something on it, or if I get really sweaty, it's really hot.
I'm a sweaty
Otherwise,
person.
I fold it and put it back because I know I don't want to excessively wash it because that's how shirts get faded. So I don't like to excessively wash things.
That's
I
true.
do
Me
my
too.
laundry once a week and I fold all my clothes immediately. But I'm a big advocate of they can go a couple days. That's what I think.
So I don't do that with shirts. I do that with jeans or
Yeah,
pants
that I
or
do that.
shorts. But I don't have anything in my room besides my dresser, which has my TV, my PlayStation, my bed, and then my night table where I have my water bottle, my deodorant, and
Oh, okay.
whatever.
Uh-huh.
So, and my hamper. So as soon as I take off a shirt, underwear, socks, whatever, they just go in the hamper. And my pants, I just lay them over the hamper. So it's not
Okay.
actually inside,
Yeah.
it's just over it. And
Alright.
that's what I do.
Okay, I was just wondering because like that's again not fear. It just comes from like my OCD. Like I can't like
So yeah, fear.
because like my fiance like she'll just leave piles of clothes everywhere, and then she'll be
I
like,
cannot
all right,
do that.
like we're gonna go out, and then she'll have to like kind of rummage through and be like, where's that shirt? I'm like, I don't know. Could be in that pile over there, or that pile over there, but I just can't do it. So
I can't do that either.
so it's again not fear. So I know that's kind of off topic, but it was just we were talking about the bed. So then
Have to make
No.
it. Have to fold my clothes. Have to make the bed.
so
Nope.
so-
Different.
so
Anything
anyone-
else you're like afraid of? though?
Yeah, I was about to ask. I don't know.
I feel like I got nothing.
I'm afraid of
I'm fearless.
roaches and rats
Oh yeah,
and
the
mice.
things I love.
It's funny. I think after talking to you, Jeff, about like bugs and stuff, I still get freaked out by them, but I think I have a little bit more respect for them, and I
As you
think
should.
I think they're a little. I think it's like I don't know if I'm gonna say. I think they're. I don't know if they're cool, but I think they're cooler than I thought they
Freaking
were.
Awesome.
I think they're cooler than I thought they were.
They are.
And yeah, I still get a little freaked out, but like I think after talking to you about it, it's like, oh yeah, that's kind of cool actually.
Yeah.
But oh, I know. I guess what is scary because like you talked about it. Well, I mean, you said like not a lot of people die from not breathing, but
Yeah.
that
You can go a
that's
whole life without taking a breath.
that's actually that scares me. Like that feeling of like you can't breathe, like that stuff. Like I mean, I've only
Getting
ever
the wind knocked out of you.
I've never had that
Oof.
really.
That sucks.
I'm
Scared the
talking
crap
more
out of
about
me.
like you dive into a pool and you're deeper than you think you are, and you're
Can't
like,
swim up.
and like you're swimming up, and you're like I need to breathe, and you're like you can see the top of the pool, and like you're this close. I mean, you get there eventually, but like you have that split second where like I'm not gonna make it. I can't breathe. Like that I hate. That like that's another like that suffocating kind of like. I feel like it's a terrible way to die because it's like you just feel it the whole time.
Prolonged, yeah.
Yeah. So I guess that'd be a fear of mine. Because I just thought about that when you brought it up with the people not dying thing.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So how does that affect your whole skydiving thing?
Well, I mean, honestly, I didn't even think about that, but I feel like there's gonna be too much going on for me to really. I mean, I'm sure I'll notice it. I'll notice like it being a little harder to breathe, but I still want to do it eventually.
What about you, Jeff? Are you just not scared of anything else? No fears?
Pretty much not afraid of anything. No, I feel like I'm blanking, honestly, because I'm not. I love insects. Definitely not afraid of those. And I love any mammal. So whenever I see a mouse, I get excited.
Yeah.
So none of the creepy crawly stuff for sure. I love all that stuff. I can't think of any mundane thing that like scares me, but I know there is something. I have no idea right now.
Losing creativity?
Losing creativity?
Yeah, I'm not really the most creative person, so it's okay.
Me
Not
neither.
Losing loyalty for pride?
Okay, cool. Wait a minute.
Hang on.
Something's happening right now.
Your humbleness is going?
Wait a minute. I think
Say
he's.
that.
I think he's getting into something.
Nah. But nah, I love that
Nothing.
song.
What about like germs? I'm kind of freaked out by that when I think about it.
I'm pretty gross.
You know, actually, God, I don't know why I'm like everything's coming to light now. I'm freaked out from
this
like
dude is afraid of everything.
I am. The more I think about it, it's like I'm afraid of like this is gonna sound specific. I mean, diseases in general, like germs, but like bloodborne pathogens. Again, that's specific,
Jesus, man.
but it's like it comes with my job, right? I had to like hold a guy to bring him into jail, and I didn't notice he was bleeding. And I was like, "Hey, man, you're bleeding." He's like, "Oh, no big deal, blah blah blah." He gets checked out by a nurse. He's like, "Oh yeah, I have Hep C." I was like, "Oh God,
Oh my
God,
goodness.
I need to like burn my hands or something." You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I had to really go and disinfect my whole hand. I mean, thankfully I don't have any open wounds or anything like that. Then I'd have a very high chance of getting Hep C. But like that amongst me, like I deal with a lot of homeless people. I have to like touch a lot of homeless people, and like it's nasty.
Haha.
No, not like that.
Ew.
But I mean, just even having to like get their hands behind their back and to put handcuffs on, like I couldn't believe the amount of dirt and crap underneath people's fingernails. You know what I mean? Like that alone was bad.
As we all check our fingernails, I don't even have any right now.
But it's like some people's like there was this person in a Carl's Jr. right? She was like batshit off her like mind. Like she was talking about how I'm Putin's daughter. Like I'll have you arrested. Like she was just
Yikes.
going. And she was a white girl. Her feet were so dirty they were black. Her fingers were not like I thought she was hurt. She was just really dirty. Her fingers were black because of dirt, and she hasn't been able to wash herself.
Oh.
And like I walked up into the scene, and I'm like, and like I didn't even think about it. It was just like I subconsciously grabbed my gloves because I was like, if I have to go hands on with this person, I'm like, oh God, I want as much of me covered as possible.
That's gross.
So I guess that's I don't know. Again, maybe it's a fear. I guess it's just like that whole realm of like dirtiness and like
People are grimy,
uncleanliness,
man. Yeah, people are nasty.
germs and diseases. Because like, man, you hear some like terrible shit. Like we were told in the academy of one of our instructors, he was like, oh, a classmate of mine, she had to go like hands on with a homeless person. Later, she finds out he had staph, and she lost mobility in her left hand because she got infected with staph. I was
Damn, that's heavy.
I can lose mobility in my hand because I touched someone. You know what I mean? Like that freaks me out.
Yeah.
Does that ever come back? Or
I honestly I don't know. So you know what I mean? So it's just like that's why I have this like this thing of just putting gloves on if I know I'm gonna have to like maybe touch someone, especially like a transient homeless person. So
That's gross.
yeah. So like, does that freak you out? Like germs and like diseases and shit like that?
Yes, germs and diseases do freak me out, but dude, like,
I-
I work with a bunch of animals all day.
Yeah, I guess
and
that's true. I guess it's not a fear that
it's pretty nasty, and I'm not gonna wash my hands after everything.
I guess
I do wash my hands a lot to the point where it's annoying and they get really dry, but I feel like I'm just like, yeah, you just wash your hands.
I relish this like the times I can wash my hands because sometimes all we can do is just use like they give us a bunch of like these wet wipes, like disinfectant
that
wipes.
can only do so much.
Exactly, and like your hands still feel disgusting, but like you're not like you're just going from thing to thing, and like before you know it, it's been 4 hours since you've washed your hands,
Yeah.
and you just
I do
I'm
wash
just like
mine more than
I'm
that.
just like oh god. So
Cool.
yeah, so I mean, fear.
Fearless.
If I could smoke fear away,
Oh my god,
Hey,
I'm afraid of how this podcast is gonna end. Am I right?
I'll roll that motherfucker up. All right, guys. That was fear. And
what are you
Oh.
afraid of?
what are you afraid of? We'll see you next week.
Bye guys.
#FirePitChilling.